Hi, it's Marianne here, and I'm coming to talk with you today about a way to use food to teach your horse to come when you call him. So the words I use are come. I might pat my chest if my horse is looking at me. I might say come, like I want them to come right to my heart center. And I'm going to do this at every single feeding time. And so if your horse only eats once a day and you want to speed up this process, you can cut his food into several feedings, but have it be enough that it's a reward. And so several times a day you can go outside and you can call your horse to come and you can feed your horse. Now the process is going to look like this. So you're no longer going to feed your horse in the barn, and you're no longer going to have your horse be falling in love with the bucket. Okay, so you can use a feed pan, but I want it to be outside in a large space because this is going to turn into a big opportunity to have your horse come running to you from far away. So you want to have it be in the biggest space as possible. But so at first you're going to go out and you're going to call your horse to come. And if you want to do it at a regular feeding time, that's fine. But this is going to be a different scenario. So your horse might be acting differently. So I want you to be safe. And even if you think you're safe, I don't want you to send your horse away. I want you simply to give your horse the food for the simple act of coming. So I'm going to have you go out. I'm going to have you say, horse, come. And then the horse is probably going to look at you like, what are you doing? And if you need to shake the food or something for the horse to come, I want you to do that. And then when he comes, you freely push the food under the fence and you say, good boy, and you walk away. And I want you to do that every single day until you show up and he's like, where are you? What are you doing? And he comes over. Just like, sometimes horses will meet you if you just give them a treat every single day. But I want this to be a meal. Okay, and it doesn't have to be a lot of food. It can be a little food, but it has to be a feeding time. So after a little while, and you'll see when your horse is beginning to come when you call, then there's going to start being a price, okay? Oh, one more thing about that. If you call your horse and he doesn't come, you simply, you can make a fuss. You can say, come on, good boy. You can make a big fuss, right? But if he doesn't come, if you're shaking the food and he doesn't come, you simply turn around and you walk away and you go put the food away and he doesn't get it, okay? And then you try again later. And then maybe this time he'll get the food because he'll come when you call him, okay? This is the price. But this price is going to increase. So at first, you're just you're pushing the food right under the fence because he came. Super horse. But next, after you start to see that he's coming every time, this time now he's going to come and he's going to just want the food and want the food and want the food. And you're going to say, horse, pull, back up a little. And you're going to see him. He's going to look at you. And if he looks at you at first, this is the little tiny beginning, right, of some great thing that you want him to do. You give him the food. Yay, good horse. And you walk away. And so you can see if you do this at several feedings of a day, you're going to get through this much quicker than if you did this just once a day or once every now and again. Okay, it will happen. It'll just take longer. It's just the way that works. So after a little while, when your horse, it's time, you're showing up and you're gonna be like, horse, come here, and your horse was like, well, I'm coming, and he's like, and he's like, here's this food, right, and then he looks at you because now he knows that's what he needs to do, and you'll say, back up, and he starts backing up like a champion. You'll be like, good boy. And then you go in the fence with him and you freely give him the food. And maybe you can stand there with him. I do want you to start with a fence though. Okay, I don't want you to just go in there, even if you know that it's safe. I want you to start in this process. So then the process will continue to evolve every single day. You're going to show up several times a day. And I don't care. I don't want it to be the same time every day. I want it to be different times, maybe you feed in the morning and in the evening, but maybe now you're going to feed in the morning and you're going to do a brunch, and then you'll have a lunch, and maybe there'll be a afternoon snack before dinner. Maybe there'll be a bedtime snack, and you can just break up his amount of food that he eats in these little pieces. or find something that he can eat several times a day that's worth it for him to actually make a change, something he looks forward to, something he wants. After a little while, after you come and you'll find, you'll be like, horse, he'll come, he'll be standing there at the bucket, and you'll be getting over there and he'll back himself up and he's waiting. You'll say, okay, cool, now I can ask for something else. And you'll say, good boy, you wait. And I use wait. I use hand signals and I use wait. I'll put my hand up and I'll say wait. And if I want him to stay over there and back up, I'll use one hand signal that says wait, or oh, and I bring it up from my side. I say, oh, now wait. And then I'll say back up with the other hand if that's what I want, or whatever I want. I'll say, oh, wait. And then I'll bring this down and I'll say, okay, come. And I'll make a round gesture with my hand that says, come, let us go in this direction. And I want you to make space for me. I want you to curve around me. I want an arc in your body. This is all my mental pictures. Send him around. And maybe I'm going around in a circle with him, or maybe we're going in a straight line. Or maybe I just want to practice walking together and I want to practice, oh, and I want him to stand right next to me on a straight line. Not necessarily bring his head around. My Sterling is a big Andalusian. He's a big horse and he's got a big head, and boy, he knows how to use that thing. So the limit to what is possible once you have your horse in this state is only your imagination. So I encourage you to use food as use food with a price, and you're going to start to see that your horse is really going to start to listen to you. He's going to want to come to you. And then we're going to add to this process. And this is going to be an every single day process. So this particular horse that you're working with, after your horse is in this state where he meets you, where he anticipates you're coming and he can't wait for you to be there, and he's waiting for you when you get there, and it's all great. That's when I want you to start to stay with him when he eats, and then put your halter and lead rope on him, and I want you to take him out of his space, and I want you to go for a walk. Now, this is a place where you're going to have to look for thresholds. You're going to walk in the riding area, so you're going to stay in the riding area, and I want you to, if you haven't seen that module yet, look for the module where it talks about the geometry of moving with horses. So I want you to walk in the riding area. So you're going to walk behind the shoulder, and if you could reach your arm out and touch your horse on the back, that's where you're going to be. So your horse is going to go first. This simulates riding. So you're going to go, and you're going to go walking, and you're going to allow your horse to choose the pace. Okay, you're not going to push your horse forward. What your intention is going to be, maybe to go for a nice big walk. Like I have these sod fields around me, which is fabulous. And so we'll go out and we'll go for this walk every single day. This walk that you're creating every single day is you're creating a pair bond between you and your horse. Even if you've done extensive trail riding or you've done tons of things, you've gone lots and lots of places, I don't want you to skip over this. I want you to go out with your horse every single day. It does not have to be long. It does not have to be far. And in fact, at first you may not be able to get far. You may encounter thresholds. And if you do, I encourage you to look for my video about thresholds, because you don't want to push your horse through these thresholds. We want to have this two-way street of communication where your horse is talking to you about stuff and you're available to hear and you're available to talk back, or just to listen, or just to wait, whatever it is that's needed. If you need that video, I'll put the link to it in the underneath this video, the video about thresholds, how to manage thresholds. But I want you to start to do this walking every single day, and you're going to start to see that you and your horse are going to get pair bonded, and such that he's not going to pull on you, he's not going to leave you, he's not going to call his friends, he's not going to worry, because he's going to learn that you are someone who pays attention and that you're there for him. But this has to be something close to every single day. This does not have to take a long time. It could take 10 or 15 minutes, because at first, like I said, you may just get outside the gate and your horse might start worrying and feel like he needs to go back to his pasture, in which case you'll just wait. You'll just wait with him. You won't throw him over the edge of his comfort zone and throw him into the abyss of having to save his own life, okay? Even if you think that's ridiculous, if that's what he's doing, if that's how he's acting, you need to pay attention to that. As time goes on, you're going to be able to go further and further and further and further and further away from home. And as you go further away from home, you guys are going to be more and more connected. And you'll know this if you ever take two horses anywhere. They're you know, when they get in a situation that they're not used to, even if they don't like each other, all of a sudden they're like, I've got your back. And they know I've got your back. And that's how it's going to be with you and your horse. So I encourage you to use this technique every single day. If you have any questions, ask. Marianne at mariannebrewer.com. I'm happy to share. Thanks for watching, and I'll chat with you again soon. Bye-bye.